Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard 101 video. Last video I did a tier list on my favorite soloing schools. I might do something else like that in the future, but today I'm making a tier list on the worlds because I thought that would be fun. Honestly, you know, I've kind of done my world ranked video before as well, but this is a bit different than that. This is going to be going by my preference, not by a more objective preference, which is what that one was. That one was based more on objectivity than preference. But definitely, I'm going to be, you know, having a good time doing this. Now, I'd like to say at the beginning, caramelle is not part of this because I have not done caramelle. I have yet to do caramelle. I will do it eventually. And I don't know where that will go afterwards. Maybe I'll pin a comment in the future of where I would put caramel, but haven't done it yet, so I can't grade it. It's also not on this tier list, so that works for me. Anyways, we're gonna get started. I don't know if I should go in order or if I should. I think I should go in order. I feel like that would be fine. Actually, you know what? I'll grade Wizard City first, and then that will be my baseline. So Wizard City, I struggle because I'm not gonna lie, it gets kind of boring because of the amount of times I've done it. I hate how half of it's locked behind a paywall, which annoys me. Also, we're listening to the Wisteria music currently because that's just nice and chill. I don't know. I feel like Wizard City is a very middle ground for me because it's not the best world in the world. Like, it's not the best world in the world. It's not the best world. I wouldn't consider it the best world. It's not very much like a. It's nothing special in my opinion. It introduces the game, but in regards to content, I never thought it was really the best. I actually like the old version of Wizard City a bit better. The old version of Wizard City might have been a B tier rather than a C tier, but due to the new changes added in the when they redid Wizard City, I would put it at a C tier probably. That's Wizard City. We're gonna get in the rest of these. This will go more smoothly the more I do it. Aquila. I think Aquila for me is a solid A tier. I actually really liked Aquila when it came out. I thought it was really good. I thought it was actually like a fantastic addition. I really liked the mythology. I liked the area. I liked the bosses. I liked the quests. Just everything about it was really nice. I liked how it was challenging, which is always good. It's always nice to have a challenge. Excuse me, sorry. So, you know, that's pretty sick. Next is the Arcanum, which isn't really a world. I don't know why this is on here, actually. Should I just not rank it? I feel like I can't really rank the Arcanum because it's not like it has too many quests or anything. I guess I can put it this E or D tier. It's not like, because it doesn't have many quests. It's not very interesting. It's just like if Ravenwood was a world in of itself, which it's not. So I'm just gonna put it E tier. Sorry if you disagree with that. I just don't think I can really rank the Arcanum because it doesn't have too many quests. Avalon. Avalon is one of my favorite worlds, and I do like it. I'm probably gonna put it in fave, but I would like to say, can you guys see that? No, you can't. Okay, sorry. Someone launched a Steam game, and I didn't know if you could see that. Avalon's good, but my main issue with it is the fact that the Sword of Kings sucks, and that's the whole thing you're going for the entire world. Now, obviously, that's kind of a really petty reason to not like it. It just feels so bittersweet that the end goal is just something that's completely useless that you'll put in your bank and never use again. Which is why I really hate the fact that the Sword of Kings is so weak and it really needs to be restructured. But I feel like Avalon is still one of my favorite worlds. It's still a fantastic world. And hopefully you agree with that. I just think it's a very nice world in of itself. What are we listening to? Is this still Wisteria? Yeah, definitely still is Wisteria, but I didn't recognize that. Next is Azteca. Now, Azteca actually has changed for me significantly. Now, two things have changed Azteca for me. The first is the 20% health reduction update that came out in the summer, I believe. that made this world significantly more bearable because bosses that had 21 to 23,000 health now only had 16,000 health, which was so much better. So much better. And then second was the crit update. Now that we crit almost all the time, it makes Azteca extremely bearable. I did all of Azteca with my friend, like when the crit update first came out, and honestly, we blitzed through it. We did it in like one day. So I would actually, nowadays, put Azteca at a B tier. Now, if you're asking me before these two updates, it would have been a solid D or E, but Azteca has changed for me. I actually really like Azteca now. I've always thought that the quests are nice. I thought the aesthetic was nice. Aesthetic. Oh, Marley Mode music. I've always thought the aesthetic was nice, but my main issue with it was how long and agonizing it felt. But with those two updates, it's significantly less long and agonizing, actually. Questing with a friend, I did it in one day, as I said. Azteca in one day is kind of insane. Which is why I would put Azteca to B tier now. That's probably a very, that'll be a very controversial decision. If you disagree with me, let me know. You know, it's just funny. Celestia, this for me is, it's hard because I do like astro magic, and that's probably why I wouldn't put it at an E tier. That's why I'm gonna put it at a D tier, because Celestia is painful for me. It's agonizing, it's long, it's boring, but it is fun in some places, right? There are places where it's fun. Astro magic is fun to get into. If you do it at level 60 instead of at level 40, it's a lot more bearable. A lot better, honestly, which is why it's not an E tier and it's not worst. It's a D tier for me. Dragonspire. Now, Dragonspire for me has always been one of my favorite worlds. It's definitely annoying at times, but I love the aesthetic. I love the music. I love the quest line. And generally, I just think it's a really good world, which is why I'd put it at B tier, bordering A tier, I feel like. It's better than Azteca, definitely, but not as good as Aquila. I wouldn't want to do it as much as Aquila, is what I'm saying. But Dragonspire is definitely a really good world, and I really like it. Next on the list is Imperia. Now, Imperia, I absolutely hated. I thought it was so boring, to be honest. I thought that certain parts were more interesting than others. Like when you got to the like the aerial station, like the aerial area where you met the gnomes and stuff, I believe, or was it the dwarves? I don't remember. But that was more interesting than others. But I'd still put this in E tier. I like it significantly less than Celestia, and I wouldn't want to do Celestia. I wouldn't want to do it over doing Celestia, which is why I'd put it there. The Arcanum is so out of place here because it's not a world. Can I make my own tier? Add row above. No, that's not what I want to do. Okay, I'm moving it down here and I'm naming this Arcanum. Perfect. Can you still see that on the video? That messes with things quite a bit, actually. I'm just gonna delete it. And I'm just gonna put Arcanum back down here, and I'm just not gonna rank it, because I don't think it should be ranked, honestly. The Arcanum's the Arcanum. It's cool. It's not a world, though. I wouldn't consider it a full world. You'll probably disagree with me on that. That's fine. I don't really care. I'm just not gonna rank it, because it feels so out of place there. Grizzleheim. Grizzleheim is agonizing. Usually I do Grizzleheim at level 44 when trying to get to Wintertusk, so that I can get to Wintertusk before Celestia. And Grizzleheim is definitely the worst part of it. And I would actually... it's so hard because I hate Grizzleheim with a passion, but I love the aesthetic, the music, and just everything. Oh wait, does this include Wintertusk in it? Oh, this includes Wintertusk. If this includes Wintertusk, then I'd put it at C tier, solidly. Because Wintertusk and Grizzleheim, I really love the aesthetic. I just find Grizzleheim to be agonizing because of the little XP it gives and how difficult, like, Ravenscar is. But it is nice. Like, Wintertusk is nice, right? So I'll put it at C tier. I would equate it to about Wizard City in regards to enjoyment I get out of doing it, but I definitely don't enjoy it as much as the worlds I do above it. Chrysalis, I physically have to put this at my worst world. Now, that might be controversial, but probably not. If you've watched my balanced Let's Play series, sorry, the tank's going off in the background. If you watch my balanced Let's Play series, you know I was on Chrysalis for like 25 episodes. It's literally a quarter of my Let's Play series. That's how bad Chrysalis is. It's so agonizingly long. Now, the 20% health reduction definitely helped. The crit update definitely helped, but not enough to make it not my worst world. I think Shadow Magic is cool. I think that what they did with just generally is cool, and I think the Morganth fight is fantastic, but it's just so painful that I just can't put it anywhere but worse. Hopefully you agree with me for that, but that's where I put it. Krokotopia. Now, Krokotopia used to be my favorite world. I wouldn't consider it my favorite world anymore. I would consider my favorite world to be Mushu or maybe Avalon, maybe even Polaris. But I still do really like Krokotopia. I've always thought that it's very well put together, and it's a very fun world to do, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of growth of character there, development in the game itself, and the only issue with it that I have is that the Crocosphinx feels like a real slog while doing it, which is why it's not my favorite anymore. I definitely would still put it at A tier though. Now, this is probably nostalgia speaking. If you disagree with Krokotopia being here, I understand, but Krokotopia for me is my most nostalgic world. I remember it the most. I loved it the most back in the day, and so I can't put it below A tier. Maybe it could go B tier, but definitely not lower than that for me. I've always found Krokotopia to be really nice, and that's where I'll put it. Marleybone. Marleybone, in my opinion, is fantastic. I've always loved Marleybone. I've always thought the Arc 1 worlds are great, but for me, Marleybone, you know, actually, I'm gonna go back on what I said. I'm gonna put Krokotopia in B tier, and I'm gonna put Marleybone in A tier. For me, Marleybone is better than Krokotopia and probably on level with Aquila for me. And Krokotopia is probably more on level with Dragonspire and Azteca in regards to doing them than actually Marleybone. Azteca, for me, is still a little bit controversial. I would still probably put it below Krokotopia, but I would put it above Wizard City and Grizzleheim. I would rather do Azteca than those. For me, I think Marleybone is a fantastic world. I've always loved the quest line. I love the aesthetic. I love the music. Everything about it is fantastic. It's a short world. It's not too long. You can do it in like probably a few hours if you want to. And honestly, it's not too annoying. Big Ben back in the day used to be annoying, but nowadays it's fine. So that's where I'd put it. I'd put it a solid A tier. Mirage. It has been so long since I've done Mirage, I barely even remember it. I did it back when it came out in 2016 or whatever, 2017, and I haven't actually done it since. Or actually, yeah, wait, I done it on my ice, but that was back in like 2018, but I haven't done it since. Mirage, I remember loving the aesthetic and the music, but I don't really remember the quest lines. I would put it at A though, or B, sorry. I remember it enough where I would consider it good there. I actually really liked the quest line. I like the aesthetic, and I kind of want to do it again. I think it was really good. Next is Mushu. This one is very obviously S tier, fave, whatever. I'm going to change this to S tier because I like S better, and then F down here. That was violent. Oh yeah, this is still Marleybone music. So Mushu, for me, the reason why I would consider Mushu an S tier is overall, it's just so fantastic. The music is beautifully done. The enemies are well balanced. The quests give a decent amount of XP. If you do every quest in Mushu, which I recommend actually, I've done a few times. I've done every side quest in Mushu. Not only is it actually fun to do all the side quests in Mushu, in my opinion, but it gives a decent XP boost. Like, you'll go into Dragonspire at a significantly higher level than you thought you could. Like, I think I entered Dragonspire like 38 or something on one of my wizards, which is pretty high, actually. So, I would put Mushu S tier any day. If you argue with that, I would heavily recommend you go back and do Mushu and do like some side quests and stuff, because it's such a good world. It's so well made and it's so beautiful. Next is Polaris. Now Polaris for me is hard, because I would put it at an S tier actually, and I think I will put it at an S tier. I loved Polaris when it came out. I thought it was, not only did they restructure the mobs so they're less difficult, but they made it so good after making Chrysalis. Chrysalis is such a long and painful slog, and then you get to Polaris and it's fun, actually. I thought the aesthetic was really fun, the music was fun, the quest line was fun, and overall, it was just an all-around good world. And my only issue with it was that the rat fight when it came out was extremely difficult, but that's obviously been gotten over. Nowadays there's people doing it all the time with strategies that work fine, so I would put Polaris at S tier easily, and that's just me. It could go A tier, but for me it's more of an S tier. Wisteria for me, I've always actually really enjoyed it. I thought the aesthetic is nice. I thought I can't keep saying the aesthetic and music is fantastic, because if I do, I'll just say that for every world. But Wisteria, for me, was an awesome side world. I always loved doing it. It was fantastic. And it just generally is fun. I would actually recommend doing it. I would recommend going Wizard City, Krokotopia, Marleybone, doing Wisteria, then doing a Mushu, because it actually gives like a little bit of an XP boost, level boost, and it's just generally fun, especially at that level. So that's why I would put it there. I think that it's a good world to do it. If you haven't done it, you really should do it. It's really fun. Next and last actually is Zafaria. Zafaria is a fantastic world. I keep using the word fantastic. I'm like the fucking 9th Doctor, but Zafaria is so good. Oh, hey, Mushu music, nice. But Zafaria is so good. If you haven't done it in a while, I recommend you doing it again. It's not one of my favorite worlds, but it is a really good world. I think it was made very good, and generally, the XP was balanced, and overall, it was a fun experience. You definitely develop as a character, and you go from 60 to 70 while doing the world, which is pretty cool. So I would put Zafaria at a solid A tier, which basically rounds off my list. The Arcanum is still here. I don't know what to do with the Arcanum. I would probably put it at an E tier or an F tier, because generally it didn't have many quests. The aesthetic was cool, I guess, but just generally not that interesting. But this is my list. I can go over it once again. S tier, Avalon, Mushu, Polaris. A tier, Aquila, Marleybone, Zafaria. B tier, Dragonspire, Krokotopia, Azteca, Mirage, Wisteria. C tier, Wizard City, Grizzleheim. D tier, Celestia. E tier, Imperia. F tier, Chrysalis. Now, I think that that's pretty agreeable. Some controversial places on my list are probably Polaris and S tier. Maybe Marleybone and A tier. Krokotopia and Azteca and B tier. Those are all probably going to be pretty controversial. Maybe even Imperia and E tier. I don't know what people's feelings on Imperia were. I just didn't like it personally. But that's my list. I think generally the worlds I put, that's how I would rank them in regards to my want to do them as well. Like, I would not want to do Chrysalis right now, or Imperia, or Celestia, Grizzleheim, or Wizard City. And then once we start getting towards the top, it's like how much I would want to do them more. Like, I would love to do Avalon right now. Avalon's so fun. Like, Mushu is amazingly fun. Polaris is fun, right? So hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like, hit the sub button. I do appreciate all the support recently. Tomorrow will probably be the giveaway video that I make of me actually doing the giveaway. I have chosen a winner already. I've emailed them, and I'm just waiting for them to respond so we can meet up in game and I can gift them their stuff. So yeah, I'm glad you all participated in the giveaway. I'll probably do more in the future actually, because everyone seemed to like it. So maybe I'll do it like, maybe not once a month, but during like holidays. That could be good, right? Valentine's Day maybe could be the next one if you guys want. But anyways, that's it for this video. Leave your tier list in the description of the worlds. Maybe leave comments on what you disagree with heavily, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day. Thank you all for watching.